Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, not a whole lot going on in the news over in Iraq. There was one major thing that did happen when we talk about steps Iraq needs to take in order to be recognized internationally, in order for outside investors to come in and start investing in Iraq. One of the things we need is stability in the country. So is Iraq a stable country? We know they're well on their way of trying to be, but can they get there? Also, you guys brought to my attention a comment that was made by a content creator, and you want me to comment on it, so we'll get into that too as well. So let's get into this. Before we get started, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button, and if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. You can follow me over on other platforms. I do have my own group over on Facebook called Pimpy's Investment Chat. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. So head on over here and join us. It's free to do so. In here, I do post updates. If I should get on suspension from YouTube or get removed from YouTube and you want to know what happened to me, I'll let you know right here in this group. I can be found on Twitter, MeWe, YouTube, and the cool thing about YouTube, if you come over here and you join and you find my channel, I got videos going back, I believe, a couple years. So if you want to see some older videos that I have on Nasera, Jacera, gold, silver, cryptos, come on over here and join. Look me up and check out my videos. You can also find me on Odyssey. Catch me on Rumble. When I say that the links for all these are down below in the description, some of you don't know what I'm talking about. It's real simple. Just go down to the bottom right here of any of my videos. See this? This is the description. Hit show more. And there are all the links to all the platforms I just spoke about. So if you do want to head on over to Money Middles, just click it. And there you are. So come on over. Join us. I look forward to having you. Okay, when we're talking about stability, this is not what you want to see. 10 killed, 14 injured in Iraq roadside bomb attack. The source said that the attack near the town of Emirana targeted relatives of a local MP and included 2 roadside bombs and sniper fire from unknown assailants. So if you're going after politicians, that's not a stable country, man. So this is Baghdad. At least 10 people were killed and 14 others wounded in an attack with roadside bombs and gunfire on a vehicle and rescuers in Iraq's eastern Diyala province on Thursday evening, 2 security sources said. The sources said the attack near the town of Emirana targeted relatives of a local MP and included 2 roadside bombs and sniper and fire of unknown assailants. They did not elaborate further on possible motives for the attack. So essentially, you're talking about assassination is what they're talking about here. These are the types of things we hope that Iraq can get away from. So not the kind of news we want to hear. So it looks like Mel had said something that caught people's attention, and then immediately I got a flood of messages. So let's listen to the comment, and then I'll respond.
Also, the other thing, I can't be remiss in reminding you of this, that nobody else broke until we broke it first, which was, and I'm a humble person, but God told me to tell you this. The Holy Spirit just reminded me to tell you this. This is what he said. It has been announced over here that there is no longer any restrictions on the dinar abroad, which means it's free to do whatever it's going to do very soon. This is great news for you, mate, and I broke it on a short. Go look at it.
Still, content creators are trying to be the first out there to break some news. I get it. It's exciting, so they can go, see, I told you so. Yeah, when you've been doing this as long as I have, you get past all that crap. And so God is telling Mel that the Iraqi Dinar no longer has any restrictions. Well, I made a phone call to God myself personally. He don't recall saying anything like that at all, okay? So, yeah, I don't know where she's getting that from. She's claiming she's getting it from God. Did I misunderstand her? Let's try it again.
Also, the other thing, I can't be remiss in reminding you of this, that nobody else broke until we broke it first. Which was, and I'm a humble person, but God told me to tell you this. The Holy Spirit just reminded me to tell you this. This is what he said. It has been announced over here that there is no longer any restrictions on the dinar abroad, which means it's free to do whatever it's going to do very soon. This is great news for you, mate, and I broke it on a short. Go look at it.
So God's telling her there's no more restrictions on the Iraqi dinar. Is that right? Well, I looked around to find out if that was true. Because, when it comes to God, God's not wrong. And if she's claiming she's getting a message from God and God's telling her there's no more restrictions on the Iraqi dinar, well, that would be splendid. That would be wonderful. The problem is, I couldn't find no such information. So here are the restrictions internally still happening over there in Iraq. Restrictions on the Iraqi dinar. The Iraqi dinar, the official currency of Iraq, has faced various restrictions and regulations over the years. These restrictions have been imposed by the Central Bank of Iraq and are aimed on controlling the flow of the currency in and out of the country, as well as maintaining the stability of the dinar in the international market. One of the primary restrictions on the Iraqi dinar related to international trade. The Central Bank of Iraq has implemented regulations that control the exchange of the dinars for foreign currencies. This is done to manage the country's foreign exchange reserves and prevent excessive fluctuations in the value of the dinar. So this is a restriction put on by the Central Bank of Iraq. There are also restrictions on currency exchange involving the Iraqi dinar. Individuals and businesses may face limitations on the amount of dinars they can exchange for foreign currencies. These restrictions are designed to prevent illegal activities such as money laundering or illicit financial transactions. That too is implemented by the Central Bank of Iraq. In terms of investment, there are regulations that limit the ability of foreign investors to engage in transactions involving the Iraqi dinar. These restrictions are intended to safeguard the stability of Iraq's financial system and prevent speculative activities that could destabilize the currency. Iraq authorities have also imposed restrictions on the import and export of physical dinar banknotes. This is aimed on preventing counterfeiting and illegal circulation of currency, as well as ensuring that the legitimate transactions are conducted through authorized channels. So these are just restrictions that Iraq has put on themselves internally. So there's still restrictions on the Iraqi dinar. That's not counting that they're still under sanctions with the United States. This is why we see them having to get permission from the United States to do certain things, for them to release money over to Iraq so they could do projects. There has been a lot of good news lately coming out of Iraq, and it's exciting, I get it, but we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. You got people out there talking about, God told them that there's no more restrictions on the Iraqi dinar. Well, Mel, I guess we're going to find out. It would seem to us that that kind of news would have been out and about real quick, because that is a major, major step for Iraq to have no restrictions on their currency, not just from themselves personally, but from the United States, getting rid of any kind of sanctions on the Iraqi dinar. That would be a huge step for Iraq. It would be exciting for everyone. Now, I'm not the kind of person that doubts that individuals talk to God, because God knows I talk to God. But, when it comes to subjects like this, if you're going to put yourself out there like you just did, saying that God told you that there's no restrictions on the Iraqi dinar, then you're going to have to face the consequences when it doesn't happen. I've seen it happen over and over again. Are the restrictions being removed? Did I misunderstand her? Let's try it one more time, because I don't want to misquote her.
Also, the other thing, I can't be remiss in reminding you of this, that nobody else broke until we broke it first, which was, and I'm a humble person, but God told me to tell you this. The Holy Spirit just reminded me to tell you this. This is what he said. It has been announced over here that there is no longer any restrictions on the dinar abroad, which means it's free to do whatever it's going to do very soon. This is great news for you, mate, and I broke it on a short. Go look at it.
She said it. God told her. All righty, Mel. Well, if God gave you the message, did he let you know when they're going to announce this? Because it hasn't been announced. Not as far as I can tell. Not in all the research that I've done. So it's good news whenever God chimes in on this, I would say. We're always excited to hear from God. I can't think of a time that God's ever been wrong about anything. So if God is speaking to Mel and God is telling Mel that the restrictions are off, well, that's a huge step for Iraq. I guess we're going to find out. So you guys wanted me to comment on that. And, again, look, who am I to say who does and does not talk to God? It's not my place. If God told her that the Iraqi dinar has restrictions removed, then it must be true. For whatever reason, everywhere I looked, they still have restrictions placed on the Iraqi dinar. internally by the Central Bank of Iraq, as well as externally by the United States and Europe, who have sanctions on their currencies. Anyways, that's it for now. Let's hope that God comes through this time. You know, I never known him to let us down, but we'll see what happens. What do you guys think? I would say that's good news if that's exactly what God is saying. You guys let me know what you think. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. I'm out.